What's going on, everybody? Brit Devine here from RotoGrinders to show you some new improvements in our LineupHQ lineup builder for football. We've added a couple new features here to allow you to make lineups what I would consider to be just a little bit better than you could before. So I want to explain to you those features so you know what you're doing and you don't get things wrong. What we added is right down here, a limit one wide receiver, running back, or tight end from same team unless part of a team or game stack. And that does what you think it does, but let me show you what that does in action using a couple pre-built lineups. So this was with the box unchecked. So this is what lineups would look like previously. I made a Drew Brees with at least two pass catcher stack. So I got Watson and Kamara in here. But it also allowed David Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald to enter the lineup. Now, I don't know if I like that. So what I did is I talked to some of our developers and we added in the new limit rule, which would make sure this doesn't happen unless it's included in a game stack. So let me go back and I'll check the box and I'll just make a couple more lineups and I'll show you what this does in action here. So you'll see I have Russell Wilson with two players from his team, and then the whole rest, it's all one-offs from other games because I didn't do any game stacks. Now, if you do like a game stack, if I ran it back with somebody from Russell Wilson's game, that would allow that, but then it would also force all of your other players to be from different teams. I think this allows for just a little bit more upside from your games that aren't correlated with your quarterback or from the same game. So I wanted to add this in for all of you guys here at RotoGrinders. And you can see this, Drew Brees again with two pass catchers. But now everybody skill position is all going to be from different games again. So if you want that to be through the majority of your lineups, you would click that. If you don't want that, hey, if you want David Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald in your lineup, you would leave that unchecked. We've also given you a way to do this without necessarily checking the box. To allow even greater flexibility than just doing that. So if I wanted to allow, say, Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara or a couple Saints or a couple Chiefs, from a couple Falcons to enter my lineups, we've given you an option to do this in groups that we didn't have before. And this is with the is not in lineup tab. So what you would do for this, now it would take a little bit more work because you're going to need to make these for pretty much every team in the NFL, so it is a little bit of work, but if you spend 10 minutes doing it, you can really make this tool extremely powerful. So what I would do is I would go through a lot of teams, and you can see from the build rules, I have this unchecked, so it's going to allow more than one possibly. But if I go into the groups, if I type Michael Thomas, if I type in Alvin Kamara, and I type in Ben Watson, and I type Drew Brees not in the lineup, and I put this, say I only wanted one of them, now it's if Drew Brees isn't in the lineup, you're going to get lineups because you have 0, but it could allow at most one of them into the lineup. If I wanted to, hey, I don't mind getting exposure to the Saints this week. Even in my non-Drew Brees or my non-New York Giants lineups, I could put this to 2, something like that. If I save that group and then I create a new one, let's do Russell Wilson's targets. So Doug Baldwin, and let's add in Tyler Lockett. So if I wanted to make sure, I think Seattle can score a couple of points, but I don't know if there's enough room in my non-game stacks of the Seattle game for both Baldwin and Lockett to have massive games. I could set this to at most 1 if Russell Wilson is not in the lineup. There are a lot of ways to use the is not in the lineup. It's up to your creativity. You can use it very easily for smaller slates, do a lot of fun stuff. You could use it on bigger slates. You could use it like this. You could use it in baseball or basketball. There's a lot of uses for it, and I wanted to let you guys know that the is not in the lineup in groups is now something we have the function to do. So to recap, this limit one wide receiver, running back, tight end, unless it's a game stack from that same team. We've added that, which is a really cool feature, and we've given you the ability to make groups with players who aren't in the lineup as a key player. You got to make sure you check that. And that's a really powerful tool once you guys can figure out how to use it to your own liking. So that's going to do it for a quick little update here on the LineupHQ. Thanks for watching, and we out, y'all.